so cool to say, like, I sold the first storage array to Zoom.
To Zoom.
Yeah, back when they were blowing up.
In the pandemic?
Yeah. So
imagine selling a Zoom in the pandemic.
Yeah. Clutch.
Wow.
It ended up giving me the MVP for my first year for our district.
MVP.
Yeah. Like, so it was really cool. You know, I blew out my number that year, did 300%. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, and mind you, from a numbers perspective,
dude,
I know we got to talk about the numbers.
Okay, we got to talk. People want to know, how much are you making, dude?
All right, so that year as an account manager, I think my OT probably was like 79K or whatever. I ended up making like 140.
Dude, right? 140 versus 79K.
I like 22, 23 years old,
20,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. So like, obviously you do 300-400% of your number, you're going to get paid.
Yeah,
nice
you got to.
I was like, sick.
Now, you would have gotten paid more if you're field.
Oh, yeah.
But like you all were laying the groundwork, man. So, yeah.
Trust the process. And then I got out to the field, and OT at the time for the Bay was like 160K.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like, cool. I'm the youngest person that they hired out to the field at the time. I'm like 24.
24.
So, I'm 24, 160K OT, living in the Bay. I had the spot, like, dumb, dude. I had a 2-story loft, like, in the dog patch, which is like right on the same street as the Chase Stadium. Like $5,000 a month. Dumb decision. But I'm like, yo, I'm making a lot of money. Why not?
$5,000 a month,
I'm gonna be honest with you guys.
balled out.
Yeah, no. Granted,
I mean, it's fun to ball out, dude.
Cool.
It's fun to ball out.
I was like, let me get a roommate to split this. I'll pay $2,500.
Okay,
but it was a really dope spot.
Okay, that's smart. See, $2,500 is, I mean, that's still expensive. But
listen, it gets better because this is during the pandemic, and my roommate at the time, he had a family in Florida, so he was gone the entire time that I was there. So
and he was paying for it.
And he's still paying for his side. I'm paying for my side. So I'm living in this place on myself. It's right on the water. It's beautiful. So I had a great time. Fast forward, and that year is 160K OTE. I ended up crushing my number, did 200-300% of my number. Ended up making like 210 that year.
210. You break the 200K mark. I mean, that's amazing.
By the time before I was 25, so like I was like, okay, there's some money to be made. Right? Like I said, trust the process. Literally went from 70K and doubled it, went to 160. And my thing is, whenever I get promoted, as long as I have the metric to show behind it, I always ask for a 30% increase. That's just my thing.
Yeah.
But if you're hitting your number,
have the metrics to show.
If you're hitting your numbers, this 30. Like I want this 30K. This 30% increase, not 30K, 30% increase. So like
30% increase of
OT.
your on-target earnings, which includes base plus what you would make in commission.
Correct.
That's a great lesson, guys. So keep that in your pocket. 30% increase. Now you have to back it up with the numbers. You got to back it up with the numbers. You got to exceed your numbers.
Yeah. So I did that. The following year, went back, crushed it, did some more deals. OTs are higher, so I'm pushing. By the time I left that role, and I did that role for 2 years, I was like around, I did like 260, 275. So I ended up, pandemic happens, I'm crushing my number during that time period. I'm like, man, I don't like California. California's beautiful, so don't get on my back for it. But I'm like, yeah, this is not for me.
I tried LA and I came back.
I like the South, man. I'm a Florida, Texas guy. Those are the only two places I live in America. So I was like, send me back to Austin. I'm like, cool. Got a core account executive role where I was in charge of the entire portfolio. I had one of the largest, there's two airlines out of Dallas. I had one of them.
Wow, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And then I had another semiconductor company out of Dallas. They used to make calculators. People were known for it. Those are like my two main accounts that I covered during that time period and worked on some really cool deals. My quarter, now that I'm responsible for the entire portfolio, what I mean by that is now I have a team that specifically focuses on, and I'm 26 at this point, it's like 25, 26 at this point. I have an entire team that's focused on computers and peripherals and all that stuff. I have a server team. I have a backup team. I have a file team. I have a block team. I have a converge team that I'm ultimately responsible for the entire portfolio of Dell Technologies to sell into these accounts.
You're like a super seller that has a team of other specialized sellers for different product lines that you quarterback and orchestrate.
And that's exactly that's what we
You are responsible for the ultimate outcomes in the account.
Exactly.
But
exactly. I'm responsible for the relationship. I'm responsible for growing the business, etc. And at the time, my quota was like $40, $50, $60 million, right? Depending on the year it was. Ran that, did well in that, crushed my number again. And then the following year was really where I was like, that year was my best year, right? Like I ended up doing like 350K.
350K.
370. I'm like 26 years old.
26 years old, 370K.
And so I'm like, yo, this is too much money.
Come on, dude.
I'm like, this is too much money to be like. So I bought 2 houses. I bought a house here in Austin. A brand new build townhome over here on the east side. And then I bought another home, and I was like, I want to get into real estate investing. You know, we'll talk about this the next time I get on this with you. But
yeah, we might finish up with some like inspiration on other things at the end of this conversation. We'll touch on it because it sounds like you've leveraged. It's like, how can you leverage the wealth you're building to create more wealth and freedom for yourself? And it sounds like real estate is something.
Real estate's, I mean, number one growing. Like it's always been the number one industry that creates the most millionaires, right? That's real estate.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, tech might be fighting for number one now because
I think of Grant Cardone.
Yeah. Hey,
I tried to have him on the channel, by the way.
10X.
Yeah. We'll get him eventually.
10X.
For
sure.
Okay, so you hit 370K at, was it again 26? Or
26.
26. And then, what was next in your Dell journey? And then we'll finish up by talking about your new opportunity at Vast, which is freaking exciting.
Yeah, of course.
So walk us through the rest of the Dell journey.